Hi everybody, I am back to talk about another astrocartography line. My little cat is in my lap, he's so cute. Sebastian. Let's talk about living on a moon line. I am currently living probably like 100 miles from a moon line, so to me that's a pretty strong influence. And the moon represents emotions, it represents like feelings of belonging and your inner world. So to live on a moon line in astrocartography, in theory, there are mixed reviews. Some people say that it brings over sentimentality, like you'll be crying a lot there for no reason. And then others will just emphasize more the feeling of belonging that you'll have in that place and the positive emotional relationship you'll feel with your environment. I can say for me, living on a moon line, I have my moon is squared and like there's a lot of harsh aspects to my moon in my birth chart. It squares Saturn, it squares my sun. I don't remember exactly. It opposes something else. But you would think that I would have more of the negative aspects living on a moon line. But for me, like I have purely experienced positive aspects from it. An example is I am autistic, and in certain places I've lived in the past, like stuff like going into a gas station can be really draining for me because it's like I'm expected to socialize with the cashier, not socialize, but even just like have some kind of encounter where I have to tell them what I want and, pay them and make eye contact with them. That's debated. I don't feel the need to really make eye contact, but I digress. And here, I've noticed that like my nervous system is not nearly as triggered and activated whenever I go into places like Walmart and a gas station. I actually feel really at ease. The place I'm living is more rural by a lot, so it does move at a slower pace. And to me, that just feels like so much more manageable. Everything here has felt like wildly more manageable for me. Like, I feel like more free to be a bit of a weirdo. Like, I can go outside barefoot and I don't feel like anyone is like looking at me like, oh, that's weird or gross. I felt a lot of outside judgment in the place I was living before. And here I haven't felt that at all. I feel like people are completely sincere. I feel such a resonance with the people, and it's really easy for me like to talk to people, and I've made like a lot of friends in only a couple of weeks, which is saying a lot for me, and I'm really, really thankful for it. I feel at ease, and furthermore, I genuinely have like a really, really strong connection with the land itself. I like literally go into the woods like every single day and just want to be quiet and observe every single thing that happens in the forest, whether it's looking at a tree or bugs or listening to the birds. I feel like this palpable response from the land around me that just feels extremely warm and comforting and nurturing. And then another funny stereotype with the moon, be ruling the mother. My grandma lives here. I call her Granny, but I do have a matriarch who is from here, so that's kind of ironic. And like it being rural, there's kind of negative stereotypes for rural places sometimes. People are always like, oh, gotta move to the city. This is nowhere. This is a nobody, nowhere place or whatever. And the fact that I moved here has really strengthened my relationship with my granny because I think she feels like I don't feel like I'm better than her. Like I'm no longer like a city slicker. Like I want to live here in the place where she also feels at home. And I've had somewhat of a strained relationship with my grandma, so that's been really special and really nurturing. Um, and yeah, I have a ton of ancestors buried here. So I really do feel like a strong sense of belonging. Like, it's pretty wild. I just feel like the way people interact with each other is natural for me. And I'm really looking forward to visiting my ancestors' grave sites and like finding out about them in like local databases. So yeah, it's been extremely positive for me. I do think that I had this one moment where I was like, oh, is this because I'm living on a moon line? And I took a train. It was traveling like straight up my moon line. So I took a train and was like listening to music that just put me in this like heavily reminiscent mood for no reason. I got like really in my feelings, and I was like kind of laughing at myself at the same time as being in my feelings, because everything has been like going really well for me and I didn't have any reason to be like feeling sad. But yeah, of course I just felt it and let it pass and observed it. But yeah, that was kind of funny, and I feel like that was because I was on a moon line. Granted, a lot of people here do have like really strong political ideals that I don't really align with, and so I feel like that comes into play a little bit. And so that's one way that I've noticed like the squares to my moon feel like they're being represented here. So, but those have felt really minor so far. Yeah, like my moon is in the ninth house, and the fact that I'm somewhat like exploring another culture, because it totally is a different culture here. That feels very nourishing to me. Yeah, like prior, like I always mixed and mingled with different groups of people very like noticeably. It was like I've just hung out with like such different seeming people. And here, like that's the whole culture. It's literally like you go into a bar and you will see people you wouldn't have expected to mingle, like completely chilling with each other and not judging each other. No one has their nose stuck up. It's a great place to live, I think, anyway. It's kind of like unpopular to a lot of people, but I have loved it so far. So that's a bit about my experience living on a moon line, and I hope that was helpful to somebody. If you want personalized readings, I do relationship astrology, I can do astrocartography, or I can just read your birth chart. It's obviously my favorite thing to do, so don't be shy to reach out, and I hope you have a good day.